Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, working from yesterday when we had the breaking news on the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, now we know that it has been confirmed that there was an attempt on Donald Trump's life. If you're new to the channel, we have been discussing this topic and how wild it was going to be for 2024. But as a recap, I just wanted to mention this post from DC Drano. Now, of course, there's much more nuance to each of these particular topics that he touches on, but I think it's a good summary. It's a good overview of what we have been anticipating, what we had expected, what we had seen, and a lot of what we had talked about to illustrate why I continue to say quite frequently that we have an Establishment Uni-party that is coordinating against Donald Trump. When the media smears didn't work, they spied on him. When the spying didn't work, they special counseled him. When the special counsel didn't work, they impeached him twice. When the impeachment didn't work, they unleashed COVID and rigged the election. Again, a lot more nuance to a lot of this. When he announced his next campaign, they indicted him 4 times and sued him. When the indictments didn't work, they allowed him to get almost shot twice. If you can't see who the real threat to democracy is, you're either dumb or brainwashed. It's the deep state. And of course, we talk about that here on the channel quite often. The shadow campaign that Molly Ball spiked the football over after Trump lost in 2020. And of course, she wrote that 6,000 worded, basically just outline of what the Establishment Uni-party deep state did to ensure that Donald Trump lost. And of course, here we have Ryan Roth, who was arrested after allegedly pointing an assault rifle at former President Trump at his Florida golf resort, donated exclusively to Democrat candidates and causes since 2019. I'm not particularly interested in that, to be totally honest with you, because we already know that we have Trump detractors out there. And also we have the continuation of rhetoric that came out of the Democrats for quite some time, how Donald Trump was a threat to democracy, how he, how he was a threat to the heart and soul of our country. So there was all this vile, evil, typical orange man bad stuff that we saw even during the debate with Kamala Harris, who obviously took the opportunities each time to plug in a lot of those orange man bad talking points. So from Fox News, Trump assassination attempt suspect laughs, smiles during first court appearance in Florida. I can assure you he's not going to be laughing and smiling much longer, but apparently the guy's not all with it in the head, so this is not unusual. The suspect in the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump laughed and smiled ahead of his first court appearance in Florida on Monday, Fox News confirmed. Ryan Wesley Roth, wearing jail scrubs and shackles on his wrists and ankles, walked into court and smiled and laughed about 3 to 4 times as he was speaking to his court-appointed attorney before the hearing began, Fox News observed. So this is the individual. I'm sure you guys have seen many more pictures of him, and we have all this information relating to him. Ryan Wesley Roth, 58, has been identified as the gunman. Suspect who allegedly nearly assassinated Trump on his golf course. So, and then we can see he's tweeted to Hillary, he's tweeted to Kamala, he's tweeted to Joe Biden, the surrogate president, who has in 14 days been uninstalled. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's not even a conspiracy anymore. It's not even just a right-wing talking point. We've seen it happen. In 14 days, we went from Joe Biden is sharp as a tack to Joe Biden is stepping aside. And I can assure you he did not want to do that. And we've covered that here. We even had the clip from the interview with Leslie Stahl in 60 Minutes of her questioning Nancy Pelosi over the fact that, they talked him out of it. They talked him out of running because, of course, he had such a terrible performance during the debate that they just knew it wasn't going to happen. And I would say now it's still probably not going to happen, despite the fact that they keep showing Kamala Harris in the lead. I think they're in trouble. They're desperate. I can't associate what the establishment is doing with what happened here at Trump's golf course, but what can easily be said, I suppose, by any rational person, is that the continuing rhetoric directed at Donald Trump could lead individuals like these particular people with these particular mindsets, to do these sorts of things, just like we saw in Butler, and now, of course, what we saw at Trump's golf course. So we have the AP here with 5 things to know about the apparent assassination attempt on Trump at one of his golf courses. So we started off, of course, local authorities said that the U.S. Secret Service protecting Trump fired at a man pointing an AK-style rifle with a scope as Trump was playing on one of his Florida golf courses in West Palm Beach. Who is the suspect? Of course, we just mentioned that. Records show that Roth 58 lived in North Carolina, but that he moved to Hawaii. Roth frequently posted on social media. As we saw, he was a big advocate for Ukraine. Lots of things about Ukraine there on a lot of his posts. Fight and die to stop aggression, he posted on X in February 2023 about Ukraine. Everyone should be outraged and helping. In a video circulating online, Roth said, this is about good versus evil. Now, here's the curious thing here, is that the war has now been going on for 2 years, and the Democrats have been drip-feeding Ukraine. And I try to make this point as politely as I can because, I think that the loss of life in Ukraine is absolutely tragic. What Russia is doing is wrong. I don't agree with anything that's going on over there. It's absolutely unprovoked. But I think a lot of this was facilitated by the fact that Joe Biden became president. So my thoughts on that, or when I hear these things about Ukraine, is the Democrats seem completely content drip feeding Ukraine, right? At the expense of the Ukrainians, just to spite Putin, just to be a drain on Putin. And it's just sad to see it that Europe and NATO and other nations in the world can think that, oh, look at all the great things that the United States is doing and the Democrats are doing and Joe Biden is doing. No, they're drip feeding Ukraine. They're just trying to be a drain on Putin. It's not a mystery. It's sad and it needs to stop. So they keep asking Donald Trump, who do you want to win? Who do you want to win? No, Trump wants to end the war. Stop the war. There doesn't need to be a winner. It needs to end, right? Since when does the left not agree with peace? Since when do people not want there to be peace at all? It's interesting, is it not? So, a video shot by the AP showed Roth at a small demonstration in Kyiv Independence Square in April of 2024. I actually have that here. If you guys want to, I've already marked about where it is.
Заберіть тіла загиблих воїнів. Всі родини та вся Україна вас просить це зробити.
I am Azov, I am Mariupol, I am Ukraine. Sorry, it's really hard, but the purpose of the action is to appeal to world leaders.
And here he is. And there he was in that particular video, as mentioned here. The same day, Roth also visited a makeshift memorial to foreigners killed by Putin. There's also a video from the AP. I believe it's AP, or maybe it's not. I think it might have been from Newsweek, where Roth was actually being interviewed while he was in Kyiv or while he was in Ukraine. It's about a 10-minute long video. So we also have in July, following the assassination attempt on Trump in Pennsylvania, Roth urged Biden and Harris to visit. We talked about, or we saw that post a minute ago. Voter record shows he registered as an unaffiliated voter in North Carolina in 2012. Again, I'm not particularly concerned about his political affiliation. The man obviously was impacted by the rhetoric that's coming out of the mouths of the Democrats. It's not a mystery. There's a 2.5 minute video of them all talking about getting in people's faces, going after Trump, the same rhetoric that we hear about him being a threat to democracy, these sorts of things. And of course, local authorities said the gunman was about 400 to 500 yards away from Trump and hiding in shrubbery while the former president was playing a round of golf. And as I understand it from Sean Hannity, who was on air yesterday, they all had lunch together, him, Donald Trump, and some other individuals, and it was a last-minute deal to play golf. So a lot of people are asking today, how did he know that Donald Trump would be playing golf when it was just kind of a last-minute deal? So there's all kinds of questions, all kinds of things, all kinds of speculation going on. What has Trump said since the attempt? And of course, he came out in an email to supporters. Trump said, there were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first. I'm safe and well. And of course, we know all this. And of course, it didn't take long for the detractors to suggest that this was an orchestrated event, because of course, this is what they do. They orchestrate, coordinate, and they do things in a particular way because this is what they try to do. It's all about appearance. It's all about optics. the way things look. It isn't about the substance. It isn't about the capabilities. It isn't about the meritocracy. No, it's all about how things look. It's absolutely extraordinary. And of course, Vice President Kamala Harris came out and tweeted, but there's been no official statements from her in a news briefing of any kind or from Joe Biden. So what's next? Trump has not announced any changes to his schedule, as it is set to as he speak live on X on Monday, which is today, from Mar-a-Lago Resort to launch his son's crypto platform. Meanwhile, the leaders of a congressional bipartisan task force investigated the July 13th assassination attempt on Trump said they have requested a briefing by the Secret Service. So they're on their second investigation now. So it shouldn't be any sort of a mystery to anyone what's going on. That we have a coordinated effort by a group of people. And I'm not saying they work specifically with this particular individual. I'm simply saying that the power of suggestion in their language, what they're saying, what's going out there, the continuing lawfare, the prosecutorial misconduct by these judges in New York, and Hochul, the governor of New York, they all work together. This is not a mystery that this is all working and unfolding right here in 2024 as we near the election, during the course of 2024, as we have discussed here on the channel, that this was all going to be thrown together, thrown at people daily, that Donald Trump is a one-dimensional villain, and it's absolutely absurd and ridiculous, and it's leading to these incidences that puts Donald Trump's life in danger. This is political persecution. This is political endangerment by the Democrats that we're seeing here. This is very dangerous indeed, and we're not seeing the Democrats getting behind all of this with the effectiveness that they need. As they say, we need to protect democracy. Right. They need to protect their establishment, multicultural, authoritarian democracy. I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey for your guys' continued support. Appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe here on YouTube, as well as to select notifications that we know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.